Pill representing Know the Ledge. Brother Red Pill representing Know the Ledge. Brother Red Pill representing Know the Ledge. One half of the Twin Pillars. I am here rocking with Crumbtv.
No, you are watching Crumbtv.
You can find me on Crumbtv.
You can catch me on Crumbtv.
This is Chief Kalanago here at Crumbtv.
I am Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty in the Crumbtv studio.
Honored to be on your program, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Crumbtv.
Peace. Wait, hold on. Wait. Y'all gotta let the guy show his face in the image of peace. It is your humble guest and current resident, Crip Jesus. You feel what I'm saying? But I gotta let y'all know my real name, my real identity. It's the guy, King El Allah. And we're gonna hold it down today. You know, as the guy, I had to hit up one of the guys from D Mecca. That's what we call Detroit. And like he told me, he sees a lot of high science here. And when you get the building, sometimes you can put a little more high than science. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to take some of them high explosives out. Sometimes things are way more simple than you think. Or sometimes things are way more deeper and you're overlooking it because you're trying to take what it is and graft it. If y'all know what grafting is. How many of y'all out there know what grafting is? Let me give y'all 30 seconds. How many of y'all out there know what grafting is? Well, I bet it's all type of answers coming in because I know how y'all do. I love y'all. But this wasn't one of those type of questions. See, everybody's going to have their answer. And everybody's going to say that they're the master student and they studied 120 and they know what I'm talking about. And they were with the Nation of Islam too. And they know about Yakub and that came from Noble Drew Ali and all the blah, blah, blah. But no one gets down to the point because sometimes the enemy or what you're looking for is staring you right in the face. But before we go any further, I got to make an announcement. Hold on. That's right. To everybody watching, coming on June 16th to June 18th will be the Juneteenth retreat. Crumbtv presents the Juneteenth retreat coming June 16th to June 18th in Orlando, Florida, starring Minister of Information. Yes, tickets can be purchased at crumbtv.info/events. And for vendor and sponsor information, contact crumbtvads.gmail.com. It's going down, y'all. 2 days, maxing, relaxing, and getting the real knowledge and getting to know what's going on in the future for this community. But yeah, we didn't come here to play with y'all, man. So I'm gonna let y'all get a few minutes to get up in here. Before we break all this down, if y'all want to reach me, you can go to the website, cripjesus.com. That's CRIPJESUS.com. You can hit me on the Instagram at HOLYCRIPJESUS. Or you can hit me on that's Holy Crip Jesus. Or you can hit me on the Twitter, CRIPJESUSBLUGOD. Hey, y'all, I got to get it that complicated because they're trying to ban me from everything. If you know about the nation, you know about what's going on. They want to murder us all because they know we the guys. Oh, man, no. Get that supreme being stuff. No. But it's all different forms of tricknology. So before I get all over the place and fly all around with the too high science, you know what I'm saying? We're going to deal with today's mathematics. So with today being the 28th, that would be wisdom build. Oh, this is one of them ones, y'all. This is one of them ones. Okay. So y'all ready? Because a lot of people have been talking about this right here. Let me put this up here. The real Yakub. We know who the real Yakub is. Well, let me tell y'all something, man. That picture right there, that's not a picture of Yakub. Not even close. I know a lot of y'all thought so, but it's wrong in so many ways. Not only does he have an afro and the big head. You know the big head guys don't even have hair. But anyway, it's like it's a mixture of problems here, but that's none other than yours truly, Mr. York. You feel what I'm saying? All of that came from these degrees that I teach and stand on, and that the guys teach and stand on. Word is bond. So I was on the phone with the guy in D Mecca. I was talking about the big head stuff. I was going crazy, y'all. Let me take this down. Yes, for all y'all that say y'all follow me, that's right. That's why y'all gotta love me, because I verify everything I bring to you. Even I was getting into the big head thing too much. I was just so happy to hear about the big head of these guys are scientists, so these are big head scientists. These are basically the Yakubites, right? Nah, knowing I know better, knowing I know what's going on with the Hyksos and the Egyptians. Let me. I'm gonna get too far ahead of myself. This right here, the real Yakub, brought to you by yours truly, and the one and only nation of God's earth. All right. I am King Allah, aka Crip Jesus, and I'll start today off, the 28th, the day of wisdom build, with the wisdom build degree of 1 through 40. And it says, well, it asks us first, what kind of rules and regulations, including all laws enforced while manufacturing the devil? And the answer is, Yakub's first rule was to see that all his followers were healthy, strong, and good breeders. If not, he sent them back. All that was found not good and multiplying. And that they should marry at the age of 16. Next, Yakub gave his people the law on birth control. This was to be enforced while manufacturing the devil. This was to destroy the alike and save the unalike, which means to kill the black babies and save the brown babies. This law was given to all the ministers, doctors, nurses, and the cremator. The doctor's law was to examine all that marry, and his law was that anyone desiring to marry must first be qualified by him, and in turn, he would qualify or disqualify them to the minister, and the minister would only marry the ones that were unalike. Then you have, the nurse's law, which was to kill the black babies at birth by sticking the needle in the brain of the babies or feed it to a wild beast. I love that part because that gets deep. And then you tell the mother that the baby was an angel baby and that it was taken to heaven. And someday when the mother dies, she will see the baby in heaven. This is all the lie they would feed her. And it would have secured a home in heaven for her. But save the brown ones and tell their mother that she was lucky that her baby was a holy baby and she should take good care of her baby and educate it, and that someday it would be a great man. And all nurses, doctors, and ministers, Yakub put them under a death penalty. Whoever would fail to carry out the law the way that it was given. And the cremator was to burn the black babies when the nurse brought them to him. And it would be death to them if any of them would reveal the secret. He also had other rules and regulations which are not in this lesson. Now, here's the thing. There's no Google up here, y'all. There's no nothing up here. You see what I'm saying, y'all? You got to walk and talk with God if you want to know the truth. You feel what I'm saying? So I brought the truest of the truth, because even the big homie got big homies. So none other than Minister Freedom Allah. You feel what I'm saying? Straight from D Mecca. Let's bring him in here. Peace to God.
Peace. What's the deal, God? Peace, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, I had to have you, man. You know, let's keep it real. I called you earlier about, chiming in on that Musa one. We got to chop it up about Yakub, and I'm talking about the heads and all that. You like, man, God, that's peace, but the head don't mean that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't ran off with this. You feel what I'm saying? I got the pictures, the Dr. York pictures. I got all excited.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did, man, and I think it's a common misconception. However, from my research, when Elijah was talking about he had a big head, they was describing his ego. So you know what I mean? Yeah, we never settled on that one, God.
Mm-hmm. And here's the cool part about it, guy. You know, I've been doing this for years. I'm aware of that. But it's just so entertaining and so fun. You know, I've been 85 for so long. I am Crip Jesus. You know, I'm still growing. You know what I'm saying? It's just so tempting to see the pictures and just be, see, it is the heads. You know, it is. I mean, it is. You know, but, so look, you know, let me go. Let me show the viewers. You know, because they may think I'm tripping. Hold on. Let me let them see what got me, y'all. It's probably the same thing got y'all. I got excited. Come on.
Shit.
Now look, go check it out though. Here's the cold part about it. This is still a science in itself. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see it as the tribes doing that for fun. You know what I'm saying? There's obviously an ancient tradition of the bigger heads. However, tying that into the story of the Bible for fun to make yourself feel good is, you know, a little extra. However, I ain't gonna lie, I connected the two because Akhenaton, the size of Akhenaton's head and his children's head, and I know that he was around that time of Musa, you know what I'm saying, of Moses and all that. So it is still some type of interesting link there. You feel me?
Well, it's a science to everything in life, God. So you know what I mean? It's definitely a science to all things.
Where's bond? But as far as, you know, people just taking the lessons and saying this is literally what it is, that picture is literally a Dr. York. So right here we have a Mayan with the elongated head. We have a Khan Kingdom tribe that's in West Africa, and then right there, I believe that's like the Congo.
Yeah. Well, from my research of things like this, head shaping and the art of the head coning is a tradition in a lot of cultures that I see as far back as like West Africa, like you said, the Congo, where they take time when the baby's young to shape the head. And you know, like using things like this, like when you got the basket and the wrapping to create a certain head.
And see, that kills the whole concept of, because I was looking at it, and you know what's crazy? That's why I say it can be tempting to even, you know, how it says in the lessons, you know, easily swayed in the wrong direction, hard to lead in the right direction, right? I got that in me too, God, because I know about the elongated. You know what I'm saying? I know about, you know what I mean? But just knowing about scalping, it just, I know that I'm aware that beyond even my own knowledge that there's older, you know what I'm saying, bodies and humans that had larger heads.
Yeah,
you know?
well, you gotta know a lot of the cultures, of people, especially those living the jungle of life. Body modification is the norm. You know what I mean? Where you get to the gauges, or somebody stretching their earlobes, or you got the lip bows, where they stretching out the lip. You know what I mean? To put the body dripping. As well as, like you said, dealing with the head and the head shaping. See how she got the baby head wrapped a certain type of way. Yeah. So where they shape the head, and in some cultures, having a different shaped head was seen as you know, as something special. But you know, like you said, artificial cranial deformation, I can see that too.
Yeah, so I put that up there because when I did my research, I came to the conclusion of what you said. You know, it's good to feel good, but using math and science, what am I gonna say next? The big lip nigga tribe came from some big lip motherfuckers in the past. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can do this all day. You know, so
this is why I got when the lesson said that these people in the God degree in the 1 to 14, where they talk about why the devil call our people Africans. You gotta know these are some of our people that was living a tribal, a jungle way of life and dealing with certain traditions.
You had to give it back. So look, we'll kick this off right though. So y'all may hear different spellings, y'all may get different versions, but we here to bring to y'all not our version, not Father Out Loud's version. We bringing the version. You feel what I'm saying? You know, I don't know what y'all heard, what y'all read, but let's get to it and break this down all the way. So Yakub. This is straight from Google, y'all. Wikipedia on Nation of Islam. Yakub, sometimes spelled Yakub or Yakub with a Q or with a C, is, according to the Nation of Islam, NOI, a black scientist who had lived 6,600 years ago and was responsible for creating the white race to be a race of devils. I could agree that's right and exact.
Yeah, that's I mean, well, you gotta remember it. People can able to add things to Wikipedia. So I mean,
yeah,
pretty much that's in a nutshell. That's pretty much all the way there.
In the beliefs of the Nation of Islam, NOI, Yakub, sometimes spelled Yakub or with a Q, Yakub, was a black scientist who lived 6,600 years ago and began the creation of the white race. It's about the same thing the other one said, but as once again, it's the pictures around it. See, God, it go back to things like MK Ultra and all that. They're very slick with the way they mislead you. So they're reading that to you because they know that we're gonna if an 85er was to see this and come to us and say, "Man, hey, is this true?" and they would say those words to us, we'd say that's right and exact, but we're not knowing about those pictures around.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you got to remember, we were never given pictures in the beginning. At 120 ain't a picture book.
My God, yeah.
Yeah, 120 not a picture book. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, the mind is a special thing, guys. So people gonna come up with their own ideas, like you had your brother Dr. York. I don't know where this one came from. The one all the way to the furthest left. But I mean, I think what you have to understand, art imitates life. So these are just many examples of people interpreting the teachings and getting the perspective of the teachings, and then deciding, this is what this must have looked like.
Words bomb. I feel you on that. So before we delve all the way down this rabbit hole, let me let everybody that's watching, hope y'all got an understanding of what we're saying and what's going on. We finna break this all the way down. Get your pen, your pad, your papers, whatever. You know what I mean? Go roll up, do whatever you finna do, and get ready, because the guys finna let you have it.
When you're a black man in America, you gotta make something out of nothing, baby. You gotta wiggle, you gotta move, you gotta finesse, you gotta tap in. That part. Gold chains, heads wrapped like a Saudi. Tap in with the lokes. We the black Illuminati. We be posted at Leimert Park, hustling, catching bodies. A dripping OT. Thirsty peaches flew to Saudi. Money schemes, my niggas had dreams of riding Bugattis. Now it's 4-finger rings supreme with kings around me. Watch me turn the metaphysical to physical. It's not just lyrical, it's literal. These guns get rid of you, the spiritual. Spit out, let drip off a nigga lip, but get up in you and rip you up like 100 hollow tips. Bismillah, Iraq, Rahim. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammadeen. Had a dream last night on some other shit. Farrakhan and Malcolm X pulled up in the mothership, talking about UFOs, black kings and queens that was rich as fuck, swimming in pools of gold. But niggas like you don't wanna hear that though. You were descended of one of them snitches or dudes that told the white man about all the fucking Jews and gold. And that's how everybody in the crew got sold. Fucking blabber mouth, I don't like his type. Pull that ratchet out, we tapping in. All these bitch niggas doing is tapping out, tapping out, tapping out, tapping out, tapping out, tapping out. Gold chains, heads wrapped like a Saudi. Tap in with the lokes, with the black Illuminati.
So you see that one? Yeah.
Oh, we back at it.
That's that we are back at it. In the hood entertainment, you feel me?
Night, man.
That part.
You never know what's gonna bring.
See, I ain't know if it's in the hood music, in the hood clothes. That's where they go. In the hood entertainment. It's in the hood entertainment.
It's everything. We all around the world. Like I said, tap in CripJesus.com. Next month, we will have exclusive content. We'll be on there doing the class weekly, building with the guys. I mean, we're going up, down, and all the way around. We're going from the north to the east, to the west, to the south, bringing everybody the news, that part. But I think the problem, I don't know, would you agree with me, guy? And maybe you do, maybe you don't. I think the problem a lot of people make with Yakub is trying to jump straight to who he is, as opposed to applying the math of when, where, what.
Well, I think the problem comes in that is because we in a microwave generation. So everybody want things right now. They want to be able to see the examples right now. And a lot of times a story and a science and theology like the science of Yakub can be a little hard to digest. But you know, once we get into it and break it down into simple terms, man, it's a no-brainer, man. It's simple as pie. It's undeniable.
Word is bond. So I know I want to start with the win because, you know, us being mathematicians, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I know before I touched the lessons, right? I had already came across the certain things dealing with 6,000 years ago and dealing with masonry and all that. So I know I came across this with the King James Version of the Bible. This is that page right there. That's from an old, like one of the original ones, right? And it actually has a picture of Adam and Eve, like doing some Masonic type initiation, right? Now, they get taught gardening. You ever heard of free gardener? Like, you know how they say Freemason? I can't hear you, God.
I said that's a new one. I ain't never heard that one.
Yeah, so they got free gardeners. Anybody go look it up. We ain't even gonna do all that, but yeah, they got free gardeners. So it came to me that I'm not saying this science is not right and exact, but I'm saying that I had first learned of it, not of it. They didn't say that Yakub created them, but I first got a hint to the concept of life or life that's being explained in the Bible beginning 6,000 years ago from masonry, right? And with that, it's like, was it a person? And it's like, no, Adam is a group of people. So this is where it first got introduced to me at, right? Just through masonry and the Bible. I was in jail before I even got to touch the 120, right? And in Genesis chapter 5, King James Version, chapter 5, it says, this is the book of the generations of Adam. Generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created. So me being like me having a Mason type dude, forcing that in me and be seeing this, it wasn't hard for me to digest when I got introduced to the lessons and understand that Adam is not just this one guy you're looking for. This picture of this one white dude in this garden you're looking for. It's generations of people. Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, and to add on with you, I mean, one of the first ones that I seen, and a notable example that individuals, anybody that want to look at on a more recent scale, in 2016, God, and I can get the exact date though, but and I'm gonna tell you my man's name. It was some researchers at the University of Chicago, led by Dr. Jonathan Pritchard.
Mm-hmm.
They estimated that Asian and European populations were altered approximately 6,600 years ago. Based off of studying, the genetic sequencing of the European.
Hey, word is bond. I read some books by him. That's why I recognize the name. He's an anthropologist.
Yep. So that's just what came to mind when you were saying that.
But look what you said, Asian. And we're talking about the Caucasian. So that goes to show and prove that 6,600 years ago, when the grafting process starts, there's generations before they get to Adam. You feel me? In the Hadith, it says it's 7 generations. True. I add that up as going from black to brown, because that's the two germs that's already in the original man. So you only have to go one step to that. Then you would go from what, brown to red, that would be 2. You go 2 more to get from the red to the yellow, and you go 2 more to go fully grafted. That would make the 7 generations. This is all math I added up.
That's one way you could do it. I can see where you're going.
Mm-hmm. That's just based on that hadith. I know with the guys, I know we do the seeds. It's black, brown, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I said, before I even touched 120, I seen this. Oh, let me go back. You heard of James Usher?
No, I heard of his name. I'm familiar with that one. Talking about the biblical timeline, right?
Yeah.
Word.
That shows improved once again. So I know the understanding equality degree, it goes, tell us the exact number. Let me I might be a little rusty, guy. Tell us the exact number of years, months, and days since the birth of the devil. Since the day of the birth of the devil being on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tell us the exact number of years, months, and days of the devil being birthed on our planet.
So it's 6,020 years. Mm-hmm. That's in years, though. Then it's in months, it's 72,241 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In days, it's 2,197,000. Help me out, God. 351 days at the date of this writing.
Yeah.
So even when I draw that back from the date of the writing in February 1934, it still gets me back to about here. I'm gonna read this. What claim did James Usher make? In 1650 AD, James Usher, Bishop of Armagh and Primate of all Ireland, published the scholarly Annals of the Old Testament, deduced from the first origins of the world, where he concluded that the universe and everything in it began at noon, October 23rd, 4004 BC. He said the universe and everything inside of it, God, began at noon, October 23rd, 4004 BC. I mean, you gotta love it.
We got pyramids older than that.
But this is how he got that number, though. This was shows and proves with the messenger what Elijah handed down. How did James Usher calculate the age of Earth?
He was dealing with the Bible.
Word is bond. Usher began his calculation by adding the ages of the 21 generations of people of the Hebrew-derived Old Testament, beginning with Adam and Eve. This is coming from the UMK.ed education. Bishop James Usher sets the date for creation. You feel me? So he literally took the generations in the Bible. Once he got like a couple names, he knew the exact dates and ran it back from there. And got to that exact date. That's the same date that in the lessons is saying that. I'm not saying this is the exact date, but you know what I'm saying? That's the 6,000 years ago. That would be 4,000.
Well, the science is this how we know that the Bible is the book about their history.
Word is bond.
This is their history. This is their instructions. This is what the Adam and Eve as the first white man and woman. It say, let us make man. We are the us, they are the man that we made in our image. Or in our case, and what we dealing with, Yakub was the us. The doctors, ministers, and nurses and cremators was the us. Who in the beginning was black people, was black. Like we know, when they first got to the island of Pilan, it was all black people.
And see, that's what I think a lot of people miss out on. They graft they self.
Oh, the white man came from the black man. But you got to destroy the black and say the brown. Then destroy the brown, say the yellow. Then destroy the yellow and say the white. This is called selective breeding. Selective breeding. Man, God, you made me want to pull out. I had to click a file and whip some slides out. Man, I said, damn, I should have sent these slides to the God.
You want to share it?
Oh, it ain't got to be right now. I can though. I got some joints too.
Sure.
You could go.
So now we got to hit it with the where.
And I'll just add on. I'll add on after you go too.
So from the when, we're gonna go to where.
Word.
You know what I mean? Hit him with that, guy. You go ahead.
Well, like you said, the island of Pilan. The GNC.
Also known as Patmos.
Right. Now, if you're going to where you was going biblically, you would know that anybody who deals with Judaism, they look at the island of Pilan as the holy ground. this is one of the places. This is the place where the book of Revelations was supposedly revealed. It was always the island of exile. This is where John the exile went, John the Revelator, but he was an exile. So no, God, definitely. That's where the lessons take us.
I also want to point out too that these are the Greek islands. You feel what I'm saying?
True.
So
True.
This is Southeast Europe. Now, what's interesting about that to me is that when the Albion starts to talk about civilization and being great, he always starts with the Greeks. You feel me? So this would actually, even if you want to go around lessons, this would still be the location in the region, in the area where the first Caucasians that migrated south ran into high science and high civilization, high cultured civilization. The Mycenaeans, the Minoans, the Phoenicians, and they all were Canaanites basically. So when they're coming up, so even when David and them get there, they're going against Goliath and all of that. It's showing that there was a big, strong, knowledgeable people here. You know, right here, I believe it was the Mycenaeans or the Minoans or both. Because you got like the island of Crete and all that's the Aegean Sea. So what makes it interesting to me that it was an island is that, okay, that's a picture of it right now. So Patmos. If I'm not mistaken, Patmos, that's Revelation chapter 1, verse 9, right? When he says, I, John. So people may see that and say, well, that's John. So John the Revelator is Yakub, according to the lessons that we get. I'm saying, because Yakub is the big secret. I think that's what people don't get. You feel what I'm saying? Like people are like, where is it at? They looking for, like you said, they looking for the smoking gun of Yakub. They're like, there it goes, right there. He said, in the science lab, right there.
As a great God once told me, God, that's what's really lost about the lessons. The lost part is the teachings in the history and the origins of the Europeans. Because nowhere else has that been revealed. Nobody else taught that history. Not Noble Drew, not the Masonic community, not Garvey. Nobody. That didn't come until the Son of Man came to our aid. You feel me? So, I mean, that's what was lost, God. Nobody else revealed that. However, we could, and I got a bunch of other examples I'm gonna add on. I'm gonna add on with you too, of other Europeans confirming their own history.
Where's Bob?
Confirming the history that was given through the messenger, through Farrar, and then to us from Allah. So it's like, how is it that individuals that came, that was around before Elijah, for Farrar, they was already saying 6,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just came with, was like a confirmation. So yeah, God, peace, God, Bill.
Hey, God, this is another one of them high sciences. You know what I love about being a 5% though, God? I ain't gonna lie. Me already having that nerd deep inside me, it was a lot of high sciences I saw growing up that I never thought I would understand, could care less about. You know, let's go roll a blunt, who gives a damn? And now I just get to delve in them all day. I saw this movie when I was a kid, God, and it scared the shit out of me. Yeah, I said, Mama, what the fuck going on? They got animals. And she, look. Whereas, but and Mom's, you know, she didn't have knowledge herself, but she, you know, she was open-minded. So she had like friends that was NOI that kind of talked to her about Yakub and all that. And she mentioned to me, she said, Brendan, I think this has some truth to it. I've heard stories of a scientist guy playing with people on the island. And she was talking about her friend. She thinks she had two friends that was NOI that had knowledge herself, that kind of knew about this. You feel what I'm saying? You ever seen this movie, guy?
Hell yeah.
So check this out. How many Island of Dr. Moreau movies are there? I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Joe.
Yeah, they did it. They redid it. They made a newer one too.
Okay. It is the third major film adaptation of the Wells novel. Oh, okay, so the one you talking about is probably the third one.
No, I'm saying they redid the movie Island of Moreau. Like it's a 1997 version. It's a 1996 version. Like it's
no, the one you talking about, the new one must be the culture one.
I seen the 96 boy, yeah.
That's the one I saw. Yeah, I ain't seen 77 to 32.
I seen the 77 one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Film adaptation of the Wells novel following Island of Lost Souls, 1932.
Wells
and
wrote
the Island.
It was originally a book. I said it was originally a book, God.
Okay. I see it say the Wells novel. And the Island of Dr. Moreau, 1977. And like I said, I saw the 96 one. That's what I was talking to you about. That's what that cover is. So they making a new one though. I saw when I looked it up. When I went to go look up the screenshot this picture, they making a new one.
Yeah.
This is from Wikipedia.org, y'all. So yeah, they've been putting it out there. So the question is, what did he do? You feel what I'm saying? Now, the white race was created by an evil scientist named Yakub. Yakub set out to create a group of people opposite from his own. According to the story of Yakub, the first white man appeared only about 6,000 years ago on the island of Patmos in the Aegean Sea after a 600-year breeding process called grafting. I think that's a weak explanation, guy.
And it's not only is it weak, it's incorrect.
Okay, where's Bond?
Yeah, it was definitely a 600-year breeding process. I mean, it's pretty much right though. Honestly, I mean, based off of what we know. However, it's vague. It's vague.
It's vague, guy. You know what I mean? So we know that. Well, let me give it to y'all like this: the devil is made from the original man, like we were just saying. So,
I said, and I don't know what's going on in this this York picture all the way to the right. There's all kind of shit going on over in that joint. In the beginning, I try to unravel that stuff.
Yeah, he going crazy.
Yeah, look at you know what I'm saying?
So, I know for me, I see a lot of what's in the lessons still go on today. You know, and it goes back to what we just talked about how the self-hatred could turn you, because we talk about grafting yourself. You feel me? So the devil is made from the original people by grafting. Because in the original man, there's two germs. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely, God. Absolutely.
Oh, parts up. I done muted myself. You got the black and the brown. You feel what I'm saying? So if you separate them, it's not about saying the black is more dominant than the brown. No. When you separate them, they're both in the original man. When you separate them and begin to graft them, so because the black and the brown go together, and that be the dominant of that, you separate that and kill that. Now you graft the brown, then kill the brown. Then you graft the red, then kill the red. Then you graft it. So it's just like how they do us with the game.
As well as another way that I do it, and I got a couple slides I'll show on this too. There's one simple way to look at it, guy. You gotta understand it's all genetics. It's basic genetics. People do it all the time with dogs and other animals. You feel what I'm saying? Because in all things you have, especially in us, when you talking about the black and the brown, what you're really dealing with is a positive gene and a recessive gene. Not a positive, a dominant gene and a recessive gene. The black is the dominant, the brown is the recessive. So what do that mean? That mean that if, for example, in dogs, you're gonna have, say, for example, if the mother and the father of both dogs are a darker shade or a darker color or black, every so often one of their litter may come out brown, and you may have a recessive trait that takes over. So the trick is that if you then mix that recessive trait with another dominant one, with a darker one, then their litter are gonna have more brown ones than they did black ones. You feel what I'm saying? Because you got more recessives in the mix with the dominant. And then if you take away more black and mix the brown with the brown, then you're gonna get a litter with more brown than black. So essentially that's what grafting is. And I mean Yakub's process was obviously a little extreme, but still the same science, God, you know.
No, words bond. So I think Now that we put some math to it, we have a location, we have a time, we have an understanding of what is going on here. We can finally touch on the who, because the who is not what y'all probably thinking. Y'all probably thinking we're gonna show the big head guy like on that picture, standing in the middle of the island doing that breakdance, swastika breakdance he was just doing, going ikke, I am Yakub. No, we're about to really see what it does, because a lot of people have took concepts from us and made images. You feel what I'm saying? And be like, and you be like, okay, I see where you're going with it. I respect that. I appreciate that, especially as a teacher who knows how hard it may be to convey some of these things. But the truth is the truth. And sometimes those images blind you way far from what's really going on. You feel me? Way far from what's really going on. You looking for this black snicker-headed nigga, and you ain't understanding that the enemy is right here in the music, the art, even the history you're reading. And you might even Google this nigga. You know what I'm saying? But before I go any further, I want you to touch on the guy. Well, how do you bust it down? Because like you said, it's not a picture book. So before I even show this picture, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I got some shit I could show too. Just in terms of like who he is, homie. I mean, like for me, man, what we gotta understand is that what we establishing essentially, and what I think a lot of people miss with the whole Yakub thing, is that the European population is a very, very unique population of people. There's no other people like them on the whole planet. Meaning that it's no other population on the planet that has their specific gene package, that got their specific genome, that got the recessive traits that they got. Nobody else got that. Nobody else got the HER2 and the OCA2 and the certain alleles that make blue eyes and blonde hair. I mean, so with understanding that, we have to understand that at some point in time, somebody came along and put this population of people through a grafting process. The only way that you can get a complete population of people that's completely recessive and with all recessive traces, at some point in time, somebody had to come and carry that out and separate that. So, God, I can share my screen.
Where's Bond? Let me see, because I'm sharing mine. I can take it out.
Oh,
I still got to go to the. Oh, hold on. I got to go to the smoking gun though.
Go ahead. Keep going, God. Don't let me stop you.
Now, I ain't stopping you. This the part. This is what we was waiting for.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Drop it.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this. I look for culture. I look for a tribe. I look for the name. I know before, because I'm gonna keep it real, guy. You know, we've been here for about an hour, so we might as well drop the bomb on them. You feel what I'm saying? When you hit me with it today, I was like, whoa. And it made everything make sense to me, because I've already been kicking them to about the high coast and all that. Like I told you, I knew about Yakub, but I never seen this. And it woke me up to how much 85 I'm on. Like, damn, why does this picture matter so much to me if this dude is just representing what I'm saying already? Right? So it just goes to show, I was feeling the big heads. You know, I was feeling some buff nigga named Jacob or something in the middle of the desert or something. I was feeling that. But this made sense to me. Why I see what I see on TV. Why they're so obsessed with calling it this or that. Like, this made it all make sense. Let me stop playing with the people, man. You feel what I'm saying? So this is what the guy hit me with, y'all. Yakub Hal. Yakub Hal, Pharaoh of Egypt. Merusurim Yakub Hal was a pharaoh of Egypt during the 17th or 16th century before Christ. As he reigned during Egypt's fragmented second intermediate period, it is difficult to date his reign precisely, and even the dynasty to which he belongs is uncertain, y'all. So this is a foreigner. This is a body that came in and got the position of pharaoh, but he's not. They don't even know where this dude came from in record. It's hard to even tell who he is. That means there was a lot of war because if I'm not mistaken, Lord, ancient Egypt, whether you want to go with the Kemet version, whatever, they were very well known for keeping records of everything.
Well, his name was written in a cartouche.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole science is that if you had a cartouche, that meant that you was a ruler, that you ruled. However, what we have to know is that at the time that he ruled, this is when the Hyksos ruled Egypt. This is when the people of Kemet described that the Tama or the Tamahu or the pale white man ran through Egypt and conquered that bitch for a period of time. Now, the same way the lessons say, they ran them from among them. Now, they ran them up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Now, whether this is in reference to them before they leaving or after they, I mean, just depend on how you interpret the lessons. However, I mean, this was just one reference that we researched up on, just in terms of that people and the mention.
This is why it's so important to why it struck me so hard. If you remember from when I was spitting at you, I was going with the whole Moses thing. So my whole thing was to show about how the 18th dynasty, they had a bunch of people named Moses, and this is real, and Moses this and Moses that. But what I was missing was right before the 18th dynasty. The 18th dynasty is called the New Kingdom. Mm-hmm. So Moses, Rob Moses, all of them came back. But before that, there was the second intermediate fragmented kingdom. Him right here, this era. And during this era, this is what Thutmose and them was fighting against. And during this era, they were coming in to make Egypt, different. They were grafting it. So when I seen that, you showed me that, even though I could spit it so well off the top of my head, I knew that that picture made it click for me, man. You dig what I'm saying? Yakub and Jacob. This is from WordPress.com. The human secret. Yisrael, the one who struggles with the divine angel. Now that comes from Genesis chapter 32, verse 28, where it says that he fought the gods. That's how he got the name Israel. It's not his natural name.
Well, no, the only issue with him is, as a figure, the 15th to 16th century Egypt theoretically would only be about almost 3,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't really be in line with the timeline of the lessons. However, go ahead.
Unless he's like a descendant of him.
Well, yeah, that's what we want to deal with. We understand that, for one, even from my research of Yakub L and Yakub R, that the what was mentioned in the cartouche was also in reference to a god, was also in reference to like an angel. So theoretically, the name or the title is in reference to something much older. You feel
title?
Yeah,
title. That's where we go. It's a title more than it's a name. You feel what I'm saying?
However, I don't think it's a coincidence that the name worshipped as the god of the Hyksos or the god of the Tamahu is Yakub R. And if I can share my screen, I'll show you this picture of that come off of the wall of the temple in Abydos that come out of who the fuck book is that? Shank Etadiah book.
Go ahead.
About the Tamahu. Where that shit at? Hold on. Here we go. I got it right here.
Is it coming up?
Yeah, I'm about to grab it right now. That's the light-skinned people, or the one that we see all the way to the far right. In Egyptian, Tama means people and created. Who is white like ivory. So the Tamahu are the created white people.
I mean, let me read that. These are typical groups, not meant merely for conquered races, as may be gathered from the signification of their names. The Tamahu are light complexioned people. In Egyptian, Tama means people and created. Hue is white, light ivory. The Tamahu are the created white people. Na is black ink. Ne, a black bird. Su is the person or birth. The Nashu, one black born, Egyptian phase. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, that dude right there next to the Tama, who ain't that supposed to be like the shepherd, like that's supposed to be like the Arab type person.
In my opinion, that's how I took it. Now here I got one more while I got my screen up. There's a couple more that you can go through that we can read. I don't know. I might need to. Yeah, that's a little better. So these are a couple other examples of Europeans discussing the origin of the white man. One notable one that I always show people, this Charles Darwin, the notable English naturalist Charles Darwin, concluded that without some form of selective breeding, such skin color differences simply cannot be accounted for in a satisfactory manner. We have thus been baffled in all attempts to account for the differences. Here we go. Between the of many, but remains one important agency, namely sexual selection, which appears to have acted as powerfully on man as other animals, which means that there had to be a sexual breed, killing the yellow, saving the white, man. Other than that, it's no other way that you create a population with a completely isolated gene package in a world where we have the original man. We know
to which Yakub belongs is debated, with Yakub being seen variously as a 14th dynasty king, an early Hyksos ruler of the 15th dynasty, or a vassal of the Hyksos kings. Yakub is attested by no less than 27 scarab seals, 3 from Canaan, 4 from Egypt. A lot of people love that because a lot of niggas love to be victims. Let's tell the truth, guy. They was, oh yeah, I knew it, and they leave with nothing. You feel what I'm saying? But a bunch of high science to talk about the person sitting next to it. And the cold part is, what I took the most from the 1 through 40, because that's the one that I feel like goes the deepest on Yakub, is the why was the devil made? You feel what I'm saying? Why did God make devil? And it says to show forth his power, that he is all wise and righteous, that he can make a devil and give the devil the power to rule for 6,000 years, and then destroy the devil in one day without falling victim to his civilization. Otherwise, to show and prove that Allah is the God, always has been and always will be. Now, that's too deep, God. You know, especially when you go back to the 70 satisfied and the 30% unsatisfied. You feel me? So it's like, all right, you unsatisfied. I'm gonna make this right here so you have some balance, so you'll understand how bad it can really get. So you can, you know what I mean? So you can learn to love again.
That's one way to draw it up for sure.
I don't know. Draw it up, Lord.
No, I said I can see where you was at. I said that's definitely a good way to see it.
I mean, that's being positive though, you know.
Mm-hmm. And remember that we always taught that it was predicted even before him that a time would come where people of an opposite nature would come about and serve as a test for the original man. You know what I mean? As well as we deal in equality. Everybody got to have a time to rule.
That part. And that's the real truth that nobody wants to accept. Everybody gets a time. What they do with it is what they do with it. But everybody gets a time. You know. But all we want to really come and show y'all is that slide right.
Snitches are dudes that told the white man about all the fucking Jews and gold. And that's how everybody in the crew got sold. Fucking blabbermouth, I don't like his type. Pull that ratchet out, we tapping in. All these bitch niggas doing is tapping out.